gonna fight 'em off. The Seven Nation Army couldn't hold me back. They're gonna rip it off, thinking that I'm right behind my back. And I'm talking to myself at night because I can't forget. Back and forth through my mind behind a cigarette. And the message coming from my eyes says, leave it alone. Don't wanna hear about it. Every single one's got a story to tell. Everyone knows about it. From the Queen of England to the hounds of hell. And if I catch you coming back my way, I'm gonna serve it to you. And that ain't what you wanna hear, but that's what I'll do. And the feeling coming from my bones says, go back home. I'm going to Wichita, so far from this opera forevermore. I'm gonna work the straw and make the sweat drip out of every pore. And I'm bleeding, and I'm bleeding, and I'm bleeding right before my Lord. All the words will bleed from me, and I will sing no more. And the stains coming from my blood, they tell me go back home. Oh yeah. Hi, my name's Gravity Groove. This is Bad Luck Good Game. This is the show that I only do when I'm bored and no one watches. So it's kind of the best thing ever. Because it doesn't matter what I do. See, people always get this flipped. They say no one cares, as if that's a negative thing. No one cares means, hey, no one cares. No need to be anxious. No need to worry about your performance. Just do what feels natural. Which, you know, I can't do that on camera. That would get the 0 cents I get demonetized. I didn't think that one through, huh? What's up, buddy? This guy wants to know who I'm talking to. No one. Thinks I'm crazy. Maybe he's right. I don't think you can do this with most cats, but Tofu's a little weird. There you go. Okay, enough cat time. Alright, what I was going to do was just try some different standard decks. Standard is in an interesting place right now, but most of the format really is just different decks that can cast Fable of the Mirror Breaker. It's really just all Fable of the Mirror Breaker decks, and that's it. 9 enchantments, Fable of the Mirror Breaker deck. Grixis Vampires, Fable of the Mirror Breaker deck. Jund, Fable of the Mirror Breaker deck. Mardu, Fable of the Mirror Breaker deck. There's even a Rakdos aggro, but you guessed it. The Fable of the Mirror Breaker deck. Oh, and is it value? Fable of the Mirror Breaker deck. I'm not saying this card should be banned or anything, but if it's in 100% of decks, it it should probably be banned. Remember when they banned the looter scooter way back in the day for those boomers out there? One of the things they said in the banning announcement was that it was too ubiquitous. It was in every deck. Well, I mean, if you're gonna say it for that, yeah, I know it was an artifact, but we had a braid then. It didn't fucking matter. No one was afraid of the goddamn looter scooter. Whatever. Okay, so we have we also have an Esper midrange. I was going to try one of the Grixis versions. Now, these are all a little different. The Grixis aggro has more 2-drops. So there's a Null Priest in here. There's 2, 4, 8, and the cheeky Expressive Iteration. But the traditional package is going to be 4 Corpse Appraisers, 4 Blood Tithe Harvesters, 4 Voltage Surges, and some number of Evelyns seems to be the common theme. Of course, 4 Fable the Mirrorbreaker. Because we produce some extra blood, it allows our Voltage Surge to be a little more reliable. Voltage Surge is proving to be a very, very good spell in that it kills a Wanderer after they, do their flashy bullshit and kill one of your creatures, which you transparently will know they were doing because they will pass for 4 mana up. You can then clean it up with Voltage Surge, or clean up their blocker and, take it out with some of the creature you have surviving. We, of course, have the Harvester itself, which can occasionally act as removal, although often it's getting Voltage Surge by someone else. My version of these is a little different. I've been throwing in a few Graveyard Trespassers just as a sticky threat. It's a threat that requires extra resources to remove. And because of that, it can sometimes give the control decks trouble. It also makes for a good target to recur with your 1-of Soul Transfer, should you hit it. Kaito started out as a 3-of in this shell, even a 4-of in some, but I was consistently underwhelmed with how this card actually plays out in matches, especially in the mirror. If they're dropping Fable because they're in the play, and you're dropping Kaito, you are behind. And it becomes too hard to protect Kaito in your life total at the same time. You just can't do it. I've been consistently underwhelmed. Evelyn has been very, very good. The fact that you can flash her in at an end step, sometimes she just immediately eats like an Infernal Grasp or something, but when she survives, it's a big game. The control version of this is really weird. I've only seen this from a list online. I've never actually played it. We still have most of the core here. Harvester and Appraiser and Fable and Evelyn, but we have 4 iterations, 2 Bankbusters, 1 Meat Hook, and more like counter magic. A lot of counter magic in the main, a surprising amount. I'm not sure what this deck is trying to do exactly. It seems like it's going to be really tedious to win. Like your primary win condition is, I guess, Bankbuster beats, or sticking an Evelyn and crossing your fingers. With a lower creature count like this, the games could be longer to navigate in general. Sideboard is a little different as well. Has the 4th Corpse Appraiser. A Null has just sort of been good in this format. And some, standard options. And then the in-betweeny thing is the one I've been playing the most of. Because mid-range tends to be my thing. Here we have 2 Make Disappears in the main. We're still using the Null Hides because now that Tenacious Underdog is so common, everyone has exile for it. Everyone. So it becomes a lot less valuable and a lot less playable of a card when everyone has a great answer for it. We also cut one of the Corpse Appraisers to the side. Because again, Corpse Appraiser in the mirror is pretty bad. And with everyone having more exile removal, there are a lot of times where you're having Corpse Appraiser in your hand and it's literally a 3/3 for 3. And that King sucks. Terrible. Very disappointing. So you have a mix of all of the things as shown in the other two decks. We've got one Bankbuster, a couple iterations, but not four. Slightly different creature count, but no Blood Tithe, as you can see, or not Blood Tithe, no Adversary. Because the aggro deck makes more sense to have a hasty thing like the Adversary to potentially clear out a blocker and swing through, whereas in practice, getting value off the Adversary has been, yeah. We also have Jund and Esper. I believe we have a couple flavors of Esper. There's a tempo version. We also have Esper Angels, which, while fun and very linear, just if a lot of people are playing decks with heavy removal, it just collapses on itself. It's just quite bad. So I have never played Grix Control here, so let's give this a try. Never played it. Don't know how it's going to work. We'll just give it a couple games. Standard ranked. Grixis Control. Here we go. I'm not usually a plays for expressive iterations in his deck kind of guy. I usually hate that deck. But here we are. Are we leaving up Infernal Grasp? I think we might be. Needs to be blue. Okay. I don't think I've seen Rangers class played in this format yet. Holy shit. Well, something you have to understand about me is that I always get screwed in Magic the Gathering. If you're not familiar with the show, the name of the game being Bad Luck Good Game, is that we always somehow draw like 9 lands and 12 cards. It's just my lot in life. Oh, it's a fight rigging deck. We don't have any way to deal with enchantments game 1, other than our counters, which we did not draw. Here we have a lovely Corpse Appraiser with no corpses. See, we take the Stroke and the Den, and it does fucking nothing. So I guess we take the Disdainful, bottom this, exile this, play a land, right? Wow. When they get a creature, we're going to be in big fucking trouble. And we're drawing nothing but iteration. That's our 3rd iteration in 15 cards. I don't need more iteration. I need a threat. Sure. I'm baffled. Completely baffled. This hand is so fucking bad. No. 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 Our card is still broken. No. I really do hate the Chariot is still a thing. I feel like Standard would be a much better place if it was gone. Now, every single creature he plays... That's fucking brutal. Well, we've got 4 cracks at a piece of removal for it. Yeah, now that he's got creatures, that the fight rigging is just going to make everything enormous. And we have no means to deal with that. But we have 2 Abrades, not Abrades, we have 2 Annuls. This is going to be the deck that makes me wish I had 4 Annuls. Do you have to think about something, or what are we doing? Okay. My opponent's brain is broken. Holy shit. Holy fucking shit. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 land in 22 cards. Okay. I guess if we Bankbuster, we could potentially hit a Voltage Surge or an Abrade. Get our Corpse Appraiser back. Wow. 13 land left in the deck. Land drawn. Cards total. It's a 0.09% chance to occur based on Deculator. Wow, and his entire deck is just enchantments. I don't think we can beat this deck. Like, I think we just queued into something that just straight up fucks us. Yeah. I don't think we can beat this deck. Don't think it's possible. But we're going to try. So, Raven Feeblement out. Got a couple of these iterations. Meathawk Massacre seems good. I think we want the definite countering of the enchantments. The enchantments are what's killing us over the Make Disappears. And we'll cut 1 Voltage Surge because they're so heavily, it looks like token generators. Yeah, this is probably a matchup we just can't win. But when you draw as badly as we did, we got to see so many cards and they were all land. Not really much you can do. You have to remember, and I have to remind myself constantly, that Magic is not a skill game. Magic is a random number generator. It's a slot machine. I like dropping one of those discs down a Plinko board. If you want a skill game, you play chess. I'm more concerned about countering fight rigging, so we're just going to go ahead and cast the Harvester here. We can hold up a Null and Infernal Grasp next turn. That being said, we do have 2 Nulls, so... we don't have anything that's double color. Oh, Meat Hook. But we can't do anything about that right now. Looks like they've stumbled on lands. We probably just have them dead. Oh, man. Naturally, they drew it. Naturally, they drew it, folks. We're just gonna get fucked and lose. Oh my god. Naturally, they drew it, so we're just gonna get fucked and lose. Sure. And now we're gonna have to kill the Valky. I guess we don't have to kill the Valky. Yeah, we're priced into it, huh? Huh? This guy is drawn really, really good, too. He's a fight rigging deck, so naturally he'll have 43 fight riggings in the first 10 cards. Just naturally. This is normally an Explorer deck. I've never seen it played in Standard. It says Flash. Have a look at the nothing. Sure. Should have swung. Why wouldn't you swing? Already played a land this turn, so Expressive isn't particularly useful. Fable doesn't seem like it does much either, but we do have a Corpse Appraiser, which gives Fable more value. It also gives us blocks for Chariot if he fires it up. We can block with the Corpse Appraiser and the token. But we could just Infernal Grasp as well. Yeah, I think we're just taking this. This also leaves mana up to see what Evelyn hits. It appears to be double Corpse Appraiser, or double iteration rather. Jesus. 3 fight riggings, 17 cards. So they've had 6 fight riggings in like in 25 cards. You think I'm see? This is why I record this stuff, because you think I'm joking. Yeah, you think I'm kidding when I talk about how absolutely fucking absurd the probabilities are that this shit occurs to me over and over and over again. But it occurs over and over and over again, like without fail. It's always absurd. Yeah. Yep. Can't block it. So, what has happened here? We've counterspelled all the most important cards. Hasn't mattered at all. Hasn't mattered even a little. Has not mattered even a little bit. Because they are enchantment.deck, and we cannot interact with enchantment.deck. Okay. That's 4 fight riggings in 19 cards. Yeah, it turns out it's hard to win if your opponent just draws perfectly every game. Now, again, I'm recording this not because I enjoy playing Magic anymore. I don't. And I don't specifically because this is my experience most of the time. Now I know, and any good pro will tell you, that the thing about Magic that's supposed to be attractive and inviting is that any old person, any casual can beat, you know, LSV at FNM 40% of the time. And that's supposed to be built in and a good thing. And that's fine. If the game was too rigid, it would be like chess, and the outcomes would be 100% predetermined. A person of a certain skill level would be indefeatable by a person of a significantly lesser skill level. I understand that. That robs some of the tension from the game. But when the games are so random that they have no player agency, then they're not a game anymore. At which point, what really is it? A collectible cash game? It's still a CCG, right? A trading cash game? Yeah, I guess. It's more like a slot machine to me. Or remember playing War as a kid, where you take a deck of 52 cards and you flip a card and your opponent flips a card and the high card wins? It's just not enough to hold my attention, because that lack of agency really robs any joy that the game could ever possibly give me from me. In any other game I play, my actions matter. In Elden Ring, which, you know, was an insanely popular game for a while, maybe still is, what I do when I roll, how I build my character matters. When I choose to fight bosses and how I level matters. Nothing I do matters in this game. Not my deck, not none of my building choices, not even my plays most of the time, because it all comes down to one lander. It all comes down to the random. So I got a 1 lander, whereas last game I got a 13 lander. And my opponent drew Fight Rigging 4 times in less than 20 cards, which was their best card in that deck. And when games are this random, there's just no fun to be had. No fun. We can't iteration on 2 anyway, so I'm not liking 4 expressive iterations, I'll tell you that much. Gosh, we are so floody. So floody. It's the Fight Rigging deck again? Is this the same person? How did we queue into Fight Rigging twice in a row? You don't run Valky in non-Fight Rigging decks. Valky's a payoff. How did we run into Fight Rigging twice in a row? Again, just elucidating my point that much further. The game has no skill element to it. Well, the skill element it has to it is so minuscule compared to the randomness element of it, to be fair and more accurate. Now we're going to Fight Rigging. Oh, Fable. Okay. Land. Impressive amount of land. No discards, that's not good for us. Jund mid-range. Might not be Fight Rigging, might be Jund mid-range. We don't really need the additional land, right? So we're just going to trade here. Treasure doesn't do anything for us. That probably means we're dead.
You could have such I will come.
We need like Meat Hook Massacre and Voltage Surge. And we got neither. We can look for a Voltage Surge. What is the pause on their side? Never get lucky, chat. Never get lucky. Yeah, let's just make it worse. You're already winning. Let's win harder.
Go, my children.
Yeah. One feels pretty over, folks. Another token deck. Can't block because we need the Tithe Harvester to kill the Reflection. Another land, of course. How could it be anything else? Okay. So I guess we'll take the land. And now we just grasp that, so we have the harvester up. Or do we swing for looking for the voltage again? Probably better to play both cards, right? We save the grasp for the chariot. Yeah, that's the play. Save the grasp for the chariot. Play this. Kill this. You hold up the grasp for the chariot.
My will cannot be denied.
Feeling pretty dead.
I always reward the loyal.
On our sideboard, we bring in another Meat Hook Massacre. It's crazy to me that for our control version of this deck, there's only 2 Meat Hook Massacres in the 75. That seems wrong. I feel like we're supposed to have 4 Meat Hook Massacres. I think I'm going to cut an iteration or 2. Because that card has been just perilously slow. Like, not playing to the board in a format this aggressive just seems asinine to me. Like, look at our opponent's board. There's 900,000 million creatures, most of them 2-for-1s. How are we not playing more Meat Hook Massacres? Like, it's the only possible thing that can turn the tide. Go away.
I will.
A Voltage Surge would still kill Lulth. I think here we block with both of these to kill one, because we don't care which of these we copy.
A gift in exchange for loyalty.
Okay, so we're still digging, I think. Incredible. I guess this lets us Fable and then still have 1 up to make a copy of the Corpse Appraiser. I really don't know why I'm still playing this game. Does not seem like we have any chance of winning. This seems like a terrible build, frankly. Like, counterspells in the main where decks do all their exciting things on turn 2, or turn 3 rather. Counterspells seem really poorly positioned. They just seem worse than discard on 1 and 2. Or counterspells are on like 2 and 3.
Do what I demand.
Was not paying attention. Didn't really matter. Couldn't win that game. Corpse Appraiser, gotta be good here. Hearse, I don't think. Hearse just is a natural bit of tension with Corpse Appraiser. I don't think Hearse is for this matchup. I think the fucking iterations are garbage. Baneful Stroke counters. No, we want the Abrades. Or the Nulls, rather. Spell Pierce, nah. I think Negate is probably just better than Disappear, because that gets... Maybe we just want to split, right? Soul Shatter, I think we want. The most dangerous cards for us are still like Chariot and Fable. So maybe that brings in a couple Duresses. Let's bring in one Duress. Yeah, Expressive Iteration in Standard. I don't think that's where it's at, boss. Well, we had to try it. We looked up lists of different Grixis builds, and no red. Wow. So we mulliganed both games. Cool. I didn't want to play Magic anyway. This is why we live on the plat floor, folks. Because as I said, and please don't forget, what you play doesn't matter. What you build doesn't matter. If you're lucky, that's all that matters. And we are not lucky. We are not and have never been and will never be lucky. Not my lot in life. It would be nice, but not my lot in life. What other sweepers do we have? Since we're so creature light, I almost want like a fourth sweeper, like Path of Peril kills all the tokens for 3 mana, right? Like we can never play it. We never play it for the 6, but we could wipe a token board like that for 3 mana. I think rather than the 4th V-took in the board, we're gonna put a Path of Peril in here. The only other things are like Crush the Weak. And the deck just does not have enough threats, right? There's not enough threats. I think three negates in all of these cards is too many negates. We're going to cut a negate for just like any planeswalker. Probably Kaito. Soren's also fine. It does trigger Evelyn. Sure. We'll try one more with this this iteration here. Then we'll try something else. Again, not that it would matter. The good part of recording this stuff is that people can see it as it happens, so you can know. See, a lot of streamers, a lot of people who record content for YouTube or anywhere, that's pre-recorded. Curate wins. They want their decks to look good. They want themselves to look good. But cut out a lot of the losses. No. We need to play the Ridge, so we can play this on red, right? I don't know what deck plays Shambling Ghost. So he's holding up Deadly Dispute. And probably some removal. Every deck that ever plays Shambling Ghost is got Deadly Dispute on tap. Normally when you see Ghost in Dispute, though, you're expecting to see Blood in the Snow. And we're not seeing that here. I mean, turn 3, do nothing is fine with me. And he's got Deadly Dispute. We want to trade the Shambling Ghost or offer the trade. I think we can offer the trade. That means he doesn't Deadly Dispute this turn. Probably just uses removal on a token instead. Oh. So this is going to be the discard 1, draw 2 then, right? Some sort of treasure deck? Higher, man, I really don't. This guy's really off the reservation. I really don't know what he's doing. Goldspan, okay. Thankfully, we have the answer to that. Yeah, we'll discard 1 land. Want to hold the negate? So we're going to do this. Going to do this. And we want to Reckoner draw a card. Yeah, let's just do this. This does set up Meat Hook for him, but can't really avoid Meat Hook these days. Well, I mean, I could have. I discarded the negate, but I don't know what this guy's doing. So we're assuming Meat Hook, but it could be anything. Wow, another Goldspan. 2 Goldspans in a row is real bad for me. We don't have a lot of interacting with that in our hand. He has 4 mana on tap. It's Rakdos Dragons. Rakdos Dragons. Okay, so we're discarding both of these. That's a little late to the party. And play this, and if Kiki survives, we get to clone it and do the thing. Big flying things and dragons. So if he has Meat Hook, we have a follow-up. Although if he had Meat Hook, one would think he would have played it last turn. Okay, so we beat Dumb Dragons. Good, good. Negate out, Strokes in. Spell Pierce out. Soul Shatter definitely in. Path of Peril doesn't do anything here. Curse, I guess. Stop stuff coming back from the Lord, but is that good enough? I think based on what I saw, that's all I got. Okay, what's out? It's one of the Meat Hooks. Two of the Meat Hooks. Maybe I should have one more piece of targeted removal in the sideboard. Besides just the Soul Shatter. Which is not really targeted. Yeah. Ugh. Both bad hands. Both bad hands. Teleport Merchant. So now they have Dragon Mana, so now I think I have to pass. Fortunately. Their whole deck seems to be about 5 mana spells. Maybe we cut one of the one more of the counter spells out of the sideboard. It's got to be a budget deck, right? Very strange choice. There's the Deadly Dispute we knew was there. Maybe we cut the Spell Pierce from the main and add an additional Grasp or something like that. 2 Grasp, 2 Shatter, and 4 Voltage Surge. We could put the Soul Transfer in. Shadow's Verdict. And he has 1 additional mana, right? Yeah, I figured if we get a land, we're probably just doing this again. Oh shit, I don't have 2 red. Fuck. Wheel. We didn't have an option. I would have liked to attack with the Den. rather than commit more to a board where he probably has a sweeper. I guess we just pass then. Probably brought in sweepers at his sideboard. I'm going to do some redecorating on this tile. Oh, tree's mad. Cool. Cool. Well. Really could use one of our cards that lets us reload, like a Bank Buster or an Iteration. Or a single Corpse Appraiser. Okay. The fact that they Voltage Surge that means they may be less likely to have a sweeper? Oh, they just have a bunch of single target removal. Okay. We can play the Harvester then. And just like die to a dragon. Yep. Let me tell you, folks, nothing else could have possibly happened. Cool. Nothing else could have possibly happened. That was the only possible outcome. Yeah. You want Sorin or Corpse Appraiser? Maybe we want Corpse Appraiser, right? Because it's a extra draw? We could Corpse Appraiser again here, but I think we want to keep... do we want to keep a higher mana? We have 6, right? So we can always meat hook for 4. I don't think we ever need to meat hook for more than that against this deck. Let's just apply pressure. Yeah, we have at least one creature in the bin. Chain Corpse Apprenticers. Yeah, that was our worst case scenario. Not great either. So I guess we're just going to do this for 2. Right? If they have a Voltage Surge, they can pop one off or two off and clean out our Corpse Erasers. Sure. Damn. A very timely Field of Ruin. Opponent has infinity mana currently. So do we, and not very good. Let's say that's not very good. Eight removal spells in our deck. We have not drawn one in 30 fucking cards. Not drawn one in 30 fucking cards. Wow. Yeah. Let's do this now. Or it gets to their turn and they can cast a sorcery for a bajillion. Now we're basically dead to Meat Hook. Like, not technically dead, but functionally dead. Because they have Field of Ruin to kill our Den. And 5 treasures. This means they can, like, Orcus for anything. We don't have any... We don't have any basics in this deck. Not even one. Oh, there's one. One island. There's one island. Huh? That's not a Meat Hook. One island in a format where people are playing Cleansing Wildfire. Yeah. Unwise. Decidedly unwise. So we would add probably a mountain, I guess. Huh? Give me a mountain. There we go. And yeah, I think that's fine. I was really unimpressed with this deck. I don't think counter spells are well positioned in this format. As I said, everything really important in most of the decks right now is happening at 3 and 4. And that doesn't give you enough time to build up and exchange resources effectively. I think the best control deck is the Jeskai Hinata type decks that are just waiting till end of turn, classic Drago decks, and they're like looking for their combo piece, they get it, and they kill you. They're very hard to interact with once they get to that mana point, and this deck would be good against that. Counter spells are great against hard control like that, but most of the format isn't playing that deck. Maybe at very high level tournaments, but in Platinum, I just don't run into it enough to justify this kind of front loading of anti-control tools. So my name's been Gravity Groove. This has been Bad Luck Good Game. If you've enjoyed the show, you should really speak to a therapist, because God, what's wrong with you? You're a sadist. You're a masochist. You enjoy the suffering of others. That's what the show is supposed to be anyway. Catharsis for people who might be as unlucky as me. Thanks for watching. Later.